What is up, y'all?
Oh my god, is this the finale and I'm in a weird little booth?
You're in a weird little booth in the finale. The winner of this challenge gets to get Noah out of this weird little booth.
Please let me out. It's so gray in here. I don't like it.
No, would you like to address the elephant in the booth about why you're in the booth?
Why are you calling me fat? Please.
I didn't want to say it, but somebody had to, so if it's got to be me, then here I am to tell you. Sorry it had to be this way. I know. Anyway.
Welcome, everybody. Come one, come all, to the finale of this first Review tournament. I'm so dang excited. We've had some crazy ups and downs, some crazy close calls, and some freaking talented ass people coming in here showing off their fancy little keyframes. I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen. Nick, Em, and Orion are our finalists.
Yep.
Out of fucking
8 people down to the final 2, head to head.
It's been weeks. You guys have been following along, loving the response, loving all what's happening. Austin, do you know how many points each people had and what power-ups they used?
I do. We'll get to that in just a second. Don't you worry. Okay. I've got the show.
We'll stop worrying.
All right prepped. So yeah, Orion and Nick made it from our last round. If you haven't watched that, please feel free to watch that round after this stream. Though you already know who won those, so. Anyway,
it's fun anyway. Watch it.
It's a good time. Lots of good work being made. And I just want to let y'all know we have enjoyed this so much to the point where Animation Tournament 2 is already ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put the link for y'all in the chat to sign up for that. But we're doing it again. we're upping it to a whopping 16 people.
Yeah.
There it is. All of the rules and information and that sort of stuff is in this link. Hold on. Sorry about that. But there you go. Now's the time. Hop on in on this here second challenge. Signups are open from now until this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 16 player slots. That means 4 weeks, 4 rounds, 4 themes, more animation, more good times. Noah and I are coming up with some nasty new power-ups and stuff. It's going to be great. Also, for that one, $500 cash prize and some review merch. So, you were thinking about joining last time, or if you didn't think about it and now feel like a silly little baby for not joining it, now's your chance to do it again. Anyway, feel free to check that out. Animation Challenge 2 coming at you. That being said, final round of tournament number 1. Theme was the elements. It was a vertical video, 1080 wide by 1920 tall, 15-second long animation for our contestants this time with the required effect of CC cylinder. Bum, bum, bum. And they had about a week to do it. That all being said, we've got token time. Noah's asking about like what happened token wise. Well, our contestants last time, I believe Nick M had 20 tokens to deal with, and so he decided to spend 15 of those on a disgusting little power up for Orion. And Orion also had 16 tokens and decided to spend 15 on Nick M. You might be wondering, what did they spend them on? Well, my friends, Nick M was rather dastardly. And decided to spend his 15 tokens on the sculptor, wherein Noah and I got to make the most batshit crazy shape we could possibly think of that Orion has to use prominently in his animation. I kind of grew fond of this thing after we made it. I can kind of see this is like hair with a little eyeball. We got some lips, you know, it's a fun little character, big old nose. He's having a great time. And what did Orion purchase for Nick M? He was like, you know what? CC cylinder's not going to be enough. This man has to use CC shatter, and we're going to be looking out for it. I heard some rumblings that there were some issues with CC shatter for Nick, in that it was so intense that it crashed his After Effects, removed CC shatter from his effects panel. He couldn't even find it, and somebody else from the Discord had to send it to him as a script. So, oops.
So wow.
And as Orion says, wait, I thought the extra effect was only 12 tokens. I will retabulate that. My mistake. Don't worry about it. We're all professionals here on the show. All right. That being said, we are going to do our thing here. We're going to look at Orion and Nick M's work respectively. Then we're going to have them pitch us on their pieces. Talk a little bit about the process and those sorts of things. And we will be rating each of them out of 5 in these different categories. Technical skills, beauty, motion, and creativity for a total of up to 20 points available for our contestants today. And whoever has more by the end of the show will take it home. And they'll be getting $500 cash as well as Ravi merch, and they will also be getting to keep their tokens for the next Review Challenge tournament that they participate in. Mm-hmm. That being said, I know what y'all are waiting for. Shall we hop on in to our final submissions?
I cannot wait to see what these people made.
All right.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay.
I am ready for these here elements. We'll go ahead and go with Orion first.
Okay.
We've got submission here. Oh, JK, it already started playing. Gotta make sure that we got the maximum quality. All right, here we go. Holy shit! What?
Oh my god!
That's amazing. You embraced the shape so hard. I love it.
That's so cool.
That's amazing.
And then he's like fucking full 3D. Was there a basic required effect for these people?
CC cylinder. there is a cylinder
yeah,
there. So
that's the cylinder, I suppose.
or we
Yeah.
will find out other ways that it might have been used, but there you
I see
go.
it.
Wow, I cannot believe you committed to the shape so hard. That's amazing.
You did just scribble at him.
That is so fun.
I love it.
That's
It's so,
so
like,
fun, man.
all right, what's he got to say about this?
All right.
I want to hear.
Let's see. Let's see what Orion has to say. He has been through the ringer.
He really has.
You're probably wondering what's going on. Me too. We were briefed the elements, so I immediately thought about the alchemy. 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, water. And using those 4 elements, you can pretty much build anything. So I want to use those 4 elements, combine them into one artifact that would allow you to go into another dimension. And this other dimension is represented by this 3D world. But that was before day 2, before we used our tokens. First I was like, damn. Then I realized there were actually 4 elements in this very beautiful shape. So I opened Illustrator and a compound path. Yeah, I had to be very patient to redraw everything pixel perfect. So yeah, in the end I used the same idea that by combining 4 elements you could build this artifact that would allow you to go into the other dimension. I made it in 3D and wanted to make sure it would correspond to the 2D shape. Also challenged myself using Houdini for the first time. I used also CC Cylinder for all the glowing dashes that follow the world throughout the animation. Thank you so much for organizing this. Thank you so much, Nick, for this shape that I now dream every day about.
Dude! Wow!
Well done. Fantastic use of, oh my god.
Holy shit. I love that he pointed out that I made it a compound path. Messix in the chat, all caps, you guys didn't give him separate paths? Of course not. Why would we do that? What do you mean? We had to make sure Nick's tokens were fully worth it, okay? So we just went crazy. I so respect using the elements as a theme and using that as like the elements of the shape that he got given. I think that is amazing. That's all I'm gonna say about it for now, though. Let's watch Nick's and then we can go and critique these both. Wow, that was great. All right, here we go. Nick M, what do we got? Remember, he also had to use CC Shatter.
You did.
Just went full Illumina on it. Okay.
Okay.
Jeez.
That's so cool. Yummy.
Just went full Illumina.
The green one didn't get a shape.
The green one didn't get a shape.
Yeah, the other colors went and got shapes.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
Shape. I guess they would just be aligned if you took away another corner. Which it kind of was. Okay, so I see that.
Well,
that's very cool. That's very cool. All right, what's he got to say about it?
Okay, good to know. All right, Nick, school me. All right.
Let's get straight to the point. So my video is about emotional acceptance. We have
He's got the
4
elements
elements to emotions: anger, sadness, happiness, and fear. First we start with a flying orb, just floating around everywhere. Then comes weird shapes surrounding the orb, creating sort of an overwhelming environment for him, making it scared and then lashing out in anger. Then snaps, which makes him go flying. He then sees a light. The shine signifies the orb seeking help. Into accepting and observing his emotion. It then splits into 4 elements. Those 4 elements go in a specific order. First, anger, because he was overwhelmed. Then sadness, because he needs to let all that overwhelming pressure out somehow. Then he feels much lighter. He feels better, sort of. And the last emotion is fear. Why is it last? Because taking the next step isn't easy, and it's scary. The cylinders going up signify those steps being taken, and the gradient from green to warm colors and then transitioning to the last scene, which means acceptance and feeling good as you accepted all the elements that come with your being. CC cylinder and shatter were used in these compositions.
Where?
I got shatter and made it much prettier than that abomination that it is. And for CC cylinder, I just stacked a bunch of them across and made them rotate so the gradient could move. And in that pattern, I added a warp effect.
That's
so
such a smart way to do
transition
that.
into the last scene.
Oh, wow.
Damn. Okay. All right.
That's crazy. All right.
We have a very, very hard job ahead of us. Okay.
I don't want to.
I want to do some sports level analysis here real quick. Throughout this whole time, this whole tournament, Nick has just been wreaking havoc. Okay. And I don't know about you, but I thought he might have more of an advantage in this final round. I feel like it's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
This feels very close.
It's like razor thin for me right now. I don't know.
They both use like the things that were given to them along with the already CC cylinder so like effectively.
I know.
With using the shape is such an interesting prominent thing because it's so strange looking, and also with Nick using CC shadow in that crazy wacko way.
Yeah.
And then I love his use of CC cylinder.
And
he went with like
looks so
emotional elements as opposed to the regular physical ones, which I think is very fun, unique take.
I agree, because it's so easy to just be like, yes, Avatar. You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, crap. All right. Well, resident score master.
Yes.
I'll let
Resident score master is here.
I'll get you your screenshots. Let's oh damn. This is gonna be really, really difficult. Okay, here we go. Here's Orion's for your screenshotting pleasure.
I'm gonna get it.
Does that work for you?
Thank you very much. That does. You can do it.
Oh god, that shot is just amazing, man. It looks so good. You braced it so hard.
Did he say he used Houdini for the first time?
I think so, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just messed up, dude.
I love like the particles are nuts, man. Can you play the particles?
It's so pretty.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's so pretty, dude. I'm so glad that we have a numerical way of scoring these things, because to me right now, just mentally, gut level, these are very equal. I have no qualms with either of these, really, especially given what the task was that they had at hand for this, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. All right, let's critique let's give this some scores, shall we? Are you good in terms of screen share?
Yes, I am.
All right. There it is. Can you zoom on in to that left one?
Yeah, let me scoot this one on down.
Oh boy. Oh boy, man.
So I actually noticed this in both of them, but like the main issues or areas of improvement on both are in easing.
I agree.
And like the kind of flow of the movement throughout the scene. Orion had some really like choppy little movements, and I get it for some of the movements of the actual ball, but some of them felt like it was going too much.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in like the transition, the bounce is what
where it just like stays in the air, just
bounces
pauses up there.
Stays,
yeah.
But it doesn't, like, if it had more time to ease up there, it might feel a little better.
Right.
Also, the ring that emanates from the center, like, we have such an interesting backlit like thing that's going on, but that thing doesn't feel like it matches at all.
Yep. I agree.
And it also just like stays still once it gets a little bigger, which I think it makes the whole scene feel very static all of a sudden, and it takes me out of it.
Yeah, that's understandable. Okay. All right. Well, with all that knowledge, technical and motion should probably get.
I'd say 2.
That sounds good to me. Some of it's just a little too choppy.
Technical.
He did also do Houdini for the first time. There was some exploration and stuff there.
I think the way that he used CC Cylinder as like actual strokes is very interesting.
I agree.
Like doing a whole new program for him, that's fucking crazy. And then,
does that have enough to bring it to a 4?
I feel pretty solid about a 3, honestly.
All right, I'll take it. Beauty wise, I love me some backlit stuff. It's great. Having a great time. I'm good with a 4. Let's do it. That feels great. Especially like the awe when it changes to that shot of the particles all swirling around is just like, damn, like it really has a good payoff for that. Just like, oh, look at that. It's like, what? That's crazy.
Wild.
I love it. I love it.
It's like you're into RTX.
Creativity. Man,
I feel like
he really committed to the shape, and to be able to like not take that and just put the shape on something or have it appear for a little while or something, but like have it be the elements of that whole video in the same way that like when we did the thing for the NEA using only the logo bits to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Mad props.
Full marks for creativity. That thing is beautiful.
I agree. That was awesome.
This is a 14 out of 20. That's fantastic.
If this comes down to a tiebreaker, I'm gonna die. If this comes down to chat's hands,
I'll pass away.
Oh boy. Well, all right. Let's go ahead and move to Nick's. Give it another watch. Whew. 14 is the number to beat.
Nervous.
I know.
Getting a little nervous.
I am too. There's just so much lead up to this, you know?
Yeah. I'm on the like area.
You're what?
I want like when it hits the green, I want it to be.
I want there to be more impact or something.
I really like the green thing, and I like the spark bit as well. Those are my favorite bits. And I like comes into the center.
I also really like the sound on this one. I think it was done very well. It wasn't the whooshes and stuff were not overdone. I am a little thrown off by there not being that green shape that happens now that you pointed that out. But I also wonder, like, it does go into the thing and that like turns the final thing green. So I don't know if like
green was supposed to be the line, but it's just such a different kind of style than all the other ones that it's not clearly communicated that that's what's happening.
That shot where it's all like supposed to be moving up quickly just is not sold for me. That spot at the very, very beginning, it kind of hurts the piece.
To the top right.
Yeah, like right there. It does not feel like it's moving. Got to have some like particles or something moving past, or more like gradients swiping through those trails behind it. I do. I might also have a little bit of beef, like while it is very cool that last bit and it looks pretty, it is real similar to the Illumina stuff. And like, don't get me wrong, totally cool to have that as reference to those sorts of things. Like I'm all for using it, but it does kind of feel like, yeah, but we like just saw this, you know? It feels like it's a little bit too recent. That I think might dock some points creativity wise for me.
All right, I got the screenshot finally. I'm done screenshot.
All right.
I agree that it does dock some points for me too.
All right. Well, down to the task at hand. That shot where the ball sticks to the top right's at least going to take off a point for motion for me. From wherever I feel like it would be at.
I'm gonna give him a I'm gonna start them with a 3 for motion, I think.
Okay. That's fair.
There were some really good things in there, especially when they like all came together in that little flash.
I agree. If it weren't for that moment at the beginning, I probably would have given it a 4.
Yeah, I agree.
That was the part that didn't feel super consistent, but the rest was
bit
fine.
at the end when it kind of morphs together. I also just like want more movement in the very last scene.
Yeah, it doesn't resolve, you know?
Yeah.
Like it needs a, like if I were to look at the very end of this,
yeah,
because it doesn't loop or anything, it needs a resolve to like, you then see a dark part of the gradient coming up here and it almost like collapses like a horizon or something, you know?
Yeah.
So then it can start back over again. Like it doesn't have to loop, but I feel like it needs some sort of resolution, and it just kind of
it kind of rests on this thing where you're like, what is that? And then it doesn't tell you.
I guess it's also just these feel so organic, you know? It's just gradients in a way that you wouldn't normally see them, but this kind of just feels like radial gradient expanding up, you know? It feels like more like one element or something. Anyway. Sorry, back to your screen. Back to you.
There's some really pretty technical things, though.
Yeah.
On technical, I don't know, a 3 or 4.
I'm there as well. I don't know which one it sits at for me, though.
I'm gonna hit a 4 because that CC shadow was so sexy.
That's true. And the using CC cylinder for the gradient squishy bits, and that is the technical term, by the way. Nick can back me up. I think was really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Beauty-wise, I'm at a fork in the road here a little bit, because I can see there's parts that I really like of each part. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not super consistent all the way through. Like that first bit is kind of like flowy, and there's more just kind of like organic gradients going on and stuff. But then you get that second part where it's got these like very harsh highlights and shadows on these objects, you know? And the like bloom of it all is kind of lost. Other than, I mean, I guess you get some of these guys coming up during this section to kind of help that here, like these.
Yeah.
But it still feels like the edges of these are just like really sharp, and they're not really getting affected by the light in a way that I thought they would, you know? Like how are we getting this directional light coming at the front of these when
also like
I don't know.
Camera. I get them. I think my qualms are more with color usage and how it's just kind of inconsistent. Like we want to hit this sort of rainbowy vibe, but when you separate out the colors like this, it can get a little tricky, I guess, because you have different sections of your video that if they're not styled similar / the same, they won't feel like cohesive. So color is like a really good tool for cohesion. If you want to keep it consistent, you use like essentially the same color treatment on all the elements, or at least on all the important ones. But because you're separating these sections of the video out, both in terms of some of the ways you treat like the objects, like the sharp versus blurry, as well as separating out the colors, then it makes different parts of the video feel kind of incohesive with each other. Also, using those colors in that kind of separate manner as these little orbs, I don't really love. They're all very saturated colors on this black background. It's not my favorite thing. I really like the green. I really like the red. When you transition between them, it gets weird because they're across the color wheel from each other, so it gets kind of gray and muddy when you have that last transition into the red.
Yeah. I agree with that. Most of my beef with it just comes from a lighting consistency, I think. Like
totally
here, once you get into this darker bit where it's a dark background, like it makes sense for it to be all lit up there. Like that feels like a good moment. But once you've got this thing, these are like super bright objects in this just completely dark space, but there's nothing actually emanating off of them that interacts with the environment, you know? And there's no other like reference point for how the light is supposed to be casting on those objects for it to not, it makes it feel 2D again, I guess. It makes it feel like collage-y, sort of.
If they were like backlit and had subtle, like their colors subtly around their edges, that would feel really nice. But they have these like shines, which imply like big lights, right?
Yeah.
And nothing else has that. They look like they're fully lit while nothing else is, which makes them feel very strange.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier in the video as well, they did have some sharp shapes, like the use of CC Shatter and that like purple one that explains out right there. And they got mad blurs on them.
Those feel better, you know?
But the other ones don't have any blurring on them, and they feel like inconsistent because of that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm really torn.
No, I know.
Do you want to do it?
It really is just this middle section for me that messes with it. If it just stayed like this and this, that all matches. You know, like I can go between those two bits there, and it feels like it's from the same video, but then this part just feels like it got something injected in it.
Solid, beautiful 3 for beauty.
Okay. I'm good with that. Now, obviously it's got to get marks creativity wise for like thinking about it in terms of the emotions and not necessarily just like earth, water, fire, you know, that sort of thing. But how far does that push it? I don't know.
I don't know. I like that creativity, but I'm gonna dock a point for getting so similar to the block video.
Yeah. Where does that put it?
I don't know. What do you think it would have been without the point? A 5 or a 4?
The explanation was really, really good. I might have given it a 5, but I don't know. But I'm trying to think about it. I don't know if this is like how we should be judging this necessarily, but in comparison, well, actually, that is what it is. It's judging like the two of them against each other. Is it fair to give a like 3 on creativity for Nick's, considering like what we liked about Orion's was like, he just like really committed to this bit with the shape, you know? Like, does that feel like it's of equal value to the level of explanation and stuff that Nick gave on the emotional level of this? Because I feel like that was pretty strong, and should be able to have the same weight as that, and then it would just like lose a point for, you know, what we already talked about with the similarities to the Illumina video, which would put it to a 4.
That's fair. Plus, he gave all the little, I mean, the thinking behind even the shapes that they made.
Right.
Enjoyed that as well. Can I see the beginning of it again?
Sure.
Yeah, he really committed to the narrative.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so that would come out to a 4.
And you know what that means, chat? You know what that means, chat?
1, 2, 3.
It's up to y'all.
Oh, shit. That's crazy.
Now, chat. Okay, well, there's 2 ways that we can do this. We could just have chat vote on who should be the winner here overall. But in order to do that, I feel like we should probably see the other work that they have submitted throughout this time, or we just leave it to this final round. I'll leave it up to you, but it might be more fair to just leave it to this final bit, since that was the prompt that they were both up against each other on.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay.
I do love a good tiebreaker. Tiebreaker.
All right, chat. I'm going to play each of these for you one more time, and then I'm going to put up a poll. We're going to say, who is our champion? And it will be Orion and Nick. All right. I'm going to play these for y'all while we're having this vote take place. All right?
That's right.
Place your votes. Here is Nick's. I know. All right. There's Nick's. Here's Orion's. Place your final votes. It's like right when I think it's gonna be done too. Oh,
Love that.
jeez. All right. I am giving it.
Let's go.
I'm giving it.
I'm so freaking pleased with.
I know.
With everybody. Can I just say before we know
60 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Place your final votes. It's now or never.
That's right. You guys, huge turnout in the polls, I must say. Huge turnout. Place those votes right freaking now. I want to say I'm so delighted and impressed with everyone who's been a part of this. Nick and Orion, you guys absolutely murdered it here in this final round. What a dang pleasure it is to see everybody come together and have a good old friendly old fashioned brawl in motion design. It's been so much dang fun, and thank you everyone who has put the time in to create such fantastic things for our eyes and our ears. Gosh dang.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate it, and I'm really, really glad to have just had the turnout that we've had on this, and to know that we're going to be having another one soon with even more people is just, I'm so excited. Speaking of being excited, ladies and gentlemen, with one vote difference, Orion is our tournament one winner.
Congratulations, Orion.
Congratulations. The man received the shape of defeat and just turned it around into a W. Amazing. Absolutely well done.
All odds.
Congratulations to y'all for just making it this far in the challenge. I mean, it's been 3 weeks. Doing one of these every single week is just really intense. And I just really want to say thanks to you two for sticking it out and all making it all the way to the very end. And yeah, congrats, Orion. Nick, literally by a vote, man. Literally by a vote. Very well fought battle. Well done. Man, what does this mean now?
You know what this means right now? This means we got to do another one.
Ah, shoot.
Gotta do another one.
Another one, you say?
Gotta do another one. Oh my god, making all those shapes and just, there's been so many power-ups that haven't been bought. We're going to add so many more power-ups. I want to see more. I want more. We're going to do another one. The sign-up's already in the Discord.
Yep.
It's already in the link in the description. You guys better
there.
Come show out again. This was so much fun.
Gotta do it. I'm making sure it's in the Discord right now. So if you haven't joined the Review Discord, the link is in the description down below. So be sure to do that. That's where we'll post all the updates for the tournament, the upcoming one. And as well, we're going to put together a little recap of this very first tournament. You'll be seeing some content coming out that relatively soon. We just got to figure out what exactly we want to do with it. But should be fun. And Yeah, I don't know what else to say. There's so much to reflect on with this.
And nothing else to say, man. I mean, it's just been so cool. It's been so cool. My God. I'll see you guys in the Discord and on the show tomorrow. I'm so pleased to be a part of this wonderful community. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, y'all.
So much.
We certainly appreciate it. And to everybody who joined this first one, thank you for being willing to be guinea pigs while everybody else was too scared. Come on. This was super fun. You got to do it. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to come hang out and be a part of the next tournament. So Uma Pessoa says, how is it 49 to 50? Explain. You can go back in the video if you want. For whatever reason with YouTube polls, when you hit end poll, it removes 1 percentage point from whatever the top one was and brings it down to 99%. I don't know why, but at the time where I hit it, it was 51% Orion to 49% Nick. So there you go. Orion, please be sure to get in touch about getting that $500 cash prize, as well as your Ravi hat and was it hoodie or shirt? One of those. We'll look back at the forum and take a look at that. And then Nick, maybe just maybe we'll have a little something for you too. We'll see. We'll figure that out.
And of course, you guys do get to keep your points for the next challenge if you decide to do it next time or the time after. We're excited to see more from you.
Yep. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging. If you want to get your work critiqued on the Daily Motion Show, be sure to check out the link in the description for that. Be sure to join the review Discord as well. That's how you're going to be able to join the next challenge. And be sure to use #Daily Motion Show when you post on social. And we just